is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Hello!
Hey!
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of DCOM Descendants, your favorite DCOM rewatch podcast. All those other ones out there, I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah, we can't be mean to them. It's in the DCOM world. We all have to be kind to each other.
But I'm sure they're great.
Did we read the review from Han7?
Han7? I guess as we did. What does it start with? Luck of the podcast?
Luck of the podcast.
Then yes, we did read
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have anything new. Maybe those other ones do.
That one is new. I could be wrong.
Han. The
7.
subject is Luck of the podcast, which I felt like I would have remembered. I grew up with these DCOMs, and it's so fun to relive them. Some are proving to be more memorable than others, but the crew is always a blast. Disneywood Channel 45 in Northeast Arkansas.
Were you reading that with question marks
Yes.
to see if it jogged my memory? Yep. I've read the review. I didn't know if we had read it on the podcast.
Well, now we have. Thank you, Han7. You can leave a review. We're at 118. We're trying to get up.
$300.
Try to boost those numbers. Boost them.
It's a blitz.
It's a boost. For those, this is your first time. Maybe you were a big Halloweentown The Deuce fan, and that's how you found us today. Welcome into the DCOM Descendants
there are dozens
podcast.
of us.
There's dozens
Halloween
of
the
us.
Deuce fans.
That's right.
Halloweentown The Deuce fans.
That is what the fans call it.
That's right.
The Deuce.
For sure.
Aaron, what is this show? What are we doing here on this little thing?
This little podcast?
This little sucker. This little joint.
Well, you and I grew up loving the DCOMs, and we just won't stop talking about them. And so
much so that we made a podcast.
Yeah,
That's
our
true.
buddy DCOM Dino was so intrigued
Bringing it back.
by all these movies. He was like,
Tell me more.
Yeah, he was like, tell me more. How can I learn about these movies? And Brandon and I said, hey, bud, do we have a podcast for you? It's called DCOM Descendants.
The only
Would you be
way,
on it?
the only way to
Would you be on it with
understand
us?
it. The only
Yeah.
way to understand it more is to dive
Straight
headfirst
in.
into it. You know.
So that's what we did. We started a podcast because our friend DCOM Dino just wanted more DCOMs in his
The
life.
version of this story is putting a lot of this on me, and I just don't think that that's.
You're the
very
Godfather of
I
DCOM
mean,
Descendants.
Brandon and I are like, we've seen them.
Yeah,
They're okay.
we
don't need this.
We don't need to talk about it.
But you were just like, I really would like to watch some DCOMs with my buddies.
Never once said that out loud.
And Brandon and I are here for you. So that's what this
All right,
podcast
Buster,
is.
whatever you say. That is the whole thing here.
Yeah.
But
we do that with 4 segments.
that's exactly
We do.
right. And if you're going to
it
watch these
spells
movies,
DCOM.
if you're going to watch these movies and you're going to talk about them with your friends, you're going to need something to keep your hands busy. Because if not, you're going to be like this. You're going to be going crazy like this. Like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. The best way to do that was a food or a beverage, and that's why we start every show with a delirious.
If you're just a regular, typically functioning human being, you do not have to listen to this podcast or watch a DCOM and need something to keep your hands busy.
I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying as you begin to talk about them, your hands begin to move. And it's always better to eat something or drink something. Because people might start talking about it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
People might start talking about how...
D for
All right.
delish in DCOM?
Yeah.
do we
Today,
got?
we made...
Those Oreos?
Yeah, they're
It
little
looks
witch
like
hats.
chocolate color.
Oh, they're little witch hats. That's cute.
And they are just a chocolate-covered Oreo with a Hershey Kiss on top and some Halloween-colored
Some
sprinkles.
I'm
love
gonna
it.
go with this one. I'm gonna go with this one.
That one.
Maybe you're getting 2.
Okay. No.
Okay. Fred said no to 2.
And they're blue Oreos inside, so that's definitely thematic.
It's
Yeah.
definitely not leftover Star Wars Oreos from the Jet Jackson episode.
Is the Oreo the delish segment every week? I forget.
No, but I was on a very long ride yesterday coming home from vacation.
I think this is a great idea.
My friend was scrolling Instagram looking for Halloween themed treats. And
Here we
this
are.
one seemed really cute. And bonus, we had all these supplies.
There it is. We got there.
So
All right. Feel good about it. Hard to go wrong.
Maybe we
with.
should move this segment to the O, make it Oreo, and then move. I think we can move some things around.
okay.
As long as it stands for DCOM, that's my one non-negotiable.
Yeah. But then could we reach out to Oreo and get sponsored by Oreo?
I think Oreo's dying to give us. We have 118 reviews. All right. Oreo, get in line.
Yeah, I mean, we'll move some things around, get you right up to the front.
I will say,
no problem.
Sometimes it's nice to have the more complex, delicious things. But sometimes it's nice to just be easy. Like, this is easy and really fun and festive and Halloween-y, and I like that.
Yeah, it's fun,
It's
it's simple.
Halloween-y. You're a little
Right
Halloween-y.
in your flavor profile.
Yeah, no, this is perfect. This is one of the best desserts I've ever had.
Chocolate cookie.
I mean, I tell you
Chocolate
what,
cookie.
try not to eat like as much sweets, but you still gotta listen. You only eat
the
delish
podcast.
once a week.
That's right.
You only delish once a week. You know what I mean?
We would never delish twice a week.
We can't. That's
No.
too many delicious. There's too many delicious.
On the straight and narrow.
Then it becomes delicious, and that's not our segment.
That's not our
right.
segment at all. Let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll come
Already?
back and we
Oh my
we're
gosh.
going to dive into the Halloweentown, The Deuce.
That's
Lots to get to. Don't run through a brick wall or anything. We'll be right back here on Decom Descendants.
Decom Descendants.
Why
I was gonna too. I was gonna run through a brick wall. I don't know why.
Oh, you might be wondering why some people might be running through a brick wall.
I am wondering.
Maybe somebody becomes a brick wall in this movie.
What is someone becomes a cube, like a brick cube, but also what does that have to do with anything?
Why are people running through a brick
Don't
wall?
run through a brick wall. Don't cast a spell.
It was only a segue to talk about the fact that he's a brick. He's brick.
Yeah.
He turns into
Was it? Trappa? Is that what it was?
Trappa. Let's talk Halloweentown, The Deuce, Calamaro's Revenge. What is it?
Calamari's Revenge.
Yeah.
Kalabar?
Calabar. Calabar's
Dr.
Revenge.
Caligari's Revenge.
You might be wondering to yourself, didn't Calabar die?
Yeah, I was
In
wondering
one?
that the whole movie.
So what's up with this title? We'll get to it.
We will? You promise?
No.
It's like how James Franco becomes the Green Goblin after the Green Goblin dies in Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2. Similar things happening.
Yes. Released October 12th, 2001. Happy Halloween. It was directed by Mary Lambert.
Oh, wow. I got Lambert for this joint.
Who
Unbelievable.
it directs music videos, television episodes, and feature films mainly in the horror genre. So this is she brought her expertise into this one, which is fun. Like, Pet Sematary, directed that.
She directed the 80s or
In
90s.
1989.
Yeah.
Pet Cemetery, and then Halloween
Wow.
Town 2. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
What a waste.
Yeah. And then Best Christmas Ever, which we watched last year on Netflix. Some fun things for you. Debbie Reynolds is starring this movie alongside Kimberly J. Brown, Judith Hogue, Daniel Kuntz, Joey Zimmerman,
How many more you got?
Philip Van Dyke, and Emily Ruske.
Star-studded cast.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This movie takes place first. There's a little rundown of Halloweentown 1. If you took it to the tape with us, we also did that.
Of course
Brian
we did.
came in.
Brian came
Yeah,
in.
special
He gave us
guest
a
Brian,
rundown.
who is a huge Halloweentown fan.
Yes. Halloweentown head.
Really
Yeah.
just wanted to recap that for us.
That's
He
right.
did a great job.
But since then, Marnie has been... she's been stuck. You got to live in the mortal world. How do you go back to living in the mortal world?
It's hard.
Once you know that...
Once you've been to HT, it's hard to go back. You know what I mean?
You said it, buddy. And-
HT, are you with me?
Yeah, that's right. She's constantly on the ghoul chat room talking back and forth with the ghouls, which is awesome. She loves
It's crazy that you go to the ghoul chat room and you find ghouls.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
I know. And now that it's coming up on Halloween again, she's itching to get back to HT. She's itching to get back to HT. She is throwing the family is throwing a party though, a little Halloween bash with all those other mortals, all those other randos out there, little sickos. And
So in 1 year, Mom went from the kids
Yes.
can't even go trick or treating to we're throwing a
she's
whole-
trying. I think Mom's
But also,
trying here.
Mom's weirdly it's a weird 2 steps forward, 1 step back situation, because there's some stuff she does in this movie that's like either we embrace who we are or we don't.
Yeah.
Like once the kids go to Halloweentown in the last movie, you would think at that point the mom is all in on their identity as human beings.
You would think so. Like Grandma comes to live with them. We're embracing Halloween a little bit more, but no. Mom's still.
It's the opposite of Luck of the Irish, where that mom is like,
Yeah.
we're going to go back to being leprechauns.
Yes.
You're the one that said it. You're right. We need to be leprechauns. and there's a curse. So let's just lean into it.
Yes.
This movie, she's like, I know that we're part witch or whatever. I still don't want anything to do with it. And I think that's a weird place to start for this movie.
It is. But it's
Yeah.
where we start nonetheless. The party's going crazy. And a
great
new
party.
new kid shows up. His name is Cal, along with his British father,
Mr. Cal.
Mr. Cal, Cal's paw.
Cal's paw. Yeah.
And she immediately is a bit taken by
Smitten.
Cal. Yes. And so what better way to impress boy by showing him your
Secret witch
magical
room.
secret room full of magic stuff like werewolf hair.
When she's not supposed to show anyone.
Right.
It takes 5 minutes of talking to cute boy for her to be like, I
know
you
what will impress you.
Yes. Check
Yeah.
this out.
And as someone in the chat pointed out, all girls have a secret witch room.
That's right.
And that we use to
I
impress
knew it.
boys.
I can never prove it, but I appreciate that confirmation.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
No girl's ever taken you to her secret witch
Never.
room? Well,
Secret witch room virgin. Bran?
Yeah, I'm a virgin. Wait, is that
This is the
surprising
same
anybody?
space.
Is that surprising
I
anybody?
actually wear a ring for to show people that I've never been to a secret witch room.
Yeah.
It's my silver secret witch room virginity ring,
We're proud of it.
right?
We're proud of it. It's
Yeah,
something
I
we're
saw it
proud
at the
of.
last meeting.
And but
She's laughing
The nice thing,
because she's a bully.
and the nice
That's
thing,
why
though,
she's laughing,
there's been a couple of
because
times.
she's a bully.
There's been a couple of times when a girl has done one of these numbers, waved me on.
Yeah,
We've
you see the
gotten
signs?
straight to the door,
You
and this
see
is
the
what's happened to
signs?
me.
Yeah.
I've gone to grab the doorknob, and I see the ring, and I
Yeah,
remember.
you've gotten to the line, but you've not crossed it.
I walk away. I flee.
You flee temptation of that witch room.
That's right. So Cal does not. Cal walks right in.
Cal's like, nah,
And
man.
is like, all right,
What is it,
whatever,
Friday?
whatever,
he doesn't have
whatever.
any rings.
That's right. No, he doesn't.
He didn't have any rings, although he does seem like a boy who would have a lot of rings, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You'd see me and be like, you're not wearing enough rings.
Well, I mean, the leather jacket, the all black ensemble, yeah, a couple
The
silver.
extra
should have
long
rings.
leather jacket. That's right.
He needs
100%.
like a silver chain and a couple
Yeah.
rings.
He needs a couple of rings, tops. Like he's doing his best Chris Angel sans rings. And so they're walking, she's showing him all the stuff in this room. And as they go to leave, we see him do a little abracadabra walkie-talkie. And the spell book then gets very tiny, and he puts it in his pocket. He has gotten what he has come here for, which is the spell
Secret
book.
witch room.
That's right,
Oh,
yeah. He's just trying to get in as many girls' secret witch rooms as he can.
Steal those family spell books.
Steal the spell book, and off he goes.
Trying to steal the secrets. I don't know what to tell you. And so you might be wondering to yourself, Self, is that a big deal? Is it a big
No
deal
way. I think it's
that
just
the
kind of
spell book
happenstance.
is taken?
Won't come back at all.
The answer is yes, it is. It's a big deal.
Oh.
He leaves. He then
We were wrong.
I know.
Look at that.
He then leaves the party, walks over to the Halloweentown bus stop, recites a spell, floats away, goes through portal.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Marnie's kind of like, oh, well, this is kind of saw a boy, brought him to my spell room,
And then just like that, he's gone. Hit it
gone.
and quit it.
Well, he did invite her to invite him to the school dance later that night.
He invited her to invite him.
Well, he's not a student yet, so
I got you.
he was like, but I think like if my costume was good enough, they wouldn't mind. And she
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah. I
well,
remember
if
now.
you went with a current student, it probably wouldn't be a big deal.
There you go.
And every school we know throws a midnight costume party on Halloween.
Oh, gosh.
So that's
They're
where they're
huge.
The
headed.
years I spent at my Christian school at midnight on Halloween.
Well, it was
Yeah.
fall harvest, but
Fall, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
It was Reformation Day.
that's right, amen.
Yeah.
We all
So
nailed 95.
he had to go.
You walk in, you need earmuffs. Like the people nails
yeah.
just constantly.
You better have a tunic. I'm just letting you know.
For some reason, Cal had to leave the party. His dad did not. His dad stays to hang out with Mom, but for some reason, Cal laughed. But Marnie's like, "I'll see him later."
And we don't know this for sure, but it's looking pretty likely that Dad is Frog. Like it's looking pretty.
yeah,
likely.
we don't know that for sure
We
yet.
hear ribbits. He disappears. There is a frog.
Yeah, he ribbits
Looking
a lot.
Pretty likely that Dad is Frog.
And he's British.
Dad has also invited Mom to the high school costume party.
And she's like, is that allowed?
And he's like, yeah, sure.
They need They always need chaperones. I'm
Yeah,
just
we'll
an
just-
adult trying to get into
I'm
a
an
kid's
adult
dance.
who just moved here. My kid does not attend this school, but yeah, we should go chaperone.
I'm just trying to get that invite, that sick invite. that children's dance.
That's right. So Grandma Aggie can tell something is amok here, and is like, we got to go back to Halloweentown. Margie's going to go with her. They go to Halloweentown, and the goal here is to just make sure that everything is good to go before the Halloweentown portal slams shut at midnight. And so we go there, take a look, and we're back before midnight.
No
Easy
problem.
peasy.
Yeah,
no
just,
problem. But when they arrive, they find out that Halloweentown has gone grayscale. It is black and white.
It's getting there anyway.
It's getting there. It's on its
pops of
way.
color, but
that's
it's on its
exactly
way.
right. And
It's like a reverse Pleasantville.
that's right. So we find out that listen, Grandma knows all about this. She's like, this is the gray spell. So that's kind of like what it is. It's the gray spell. And the only question is, who is behind this?
Oh, who
Because
could
we
it be?
already got rid of the bad guy in Halloweentown 1.
And there's only one bad guy ever, so once he's gone.
Yeah.
Back in the mortal world, the other siblings are
Whose names are?
Dylan and Sophie.
Kibo. Sophie.
Dylan and Sophie.
They call her Kibo.
We call
sometimes.
we do occasionally. Discover that the spell book is gone, and luckily before they left, Grandma was like, "Hey, I actually have this new patented system. You talk through this head. We can hear you go back and forth."
Something that would have been super helpful in the first film.
But she just invented them probably because of the problems they had a year ago.
Witch walkie-talkie situation.
Yes. And Marnie is like,
they're like, "Hey, we need that spell in my spell book." Dylan and Sophie go in there and
It's
they're like,
gone.
it's not here. Grandma, you must be crazy. Where did you put it? And Grandma's like, I definitely didn't misplace it.
And Marnie's like, "Did I show a boy the secret room?" Yes, but he's nice. He wouldn't do
He
that.
wouldn't.
Yeah, I've known him for 6 whole minutes.
That's right.
And he would never do that.
I'm a great judge of character.
And it's at this point that Cal does show up as a cube.
Yeah, the famous jack-o'-lantern in the town square has been turned into a brick cube.
gray brick cube that
Don't run through a brick wall is all I'm trying to say.
talks at 0.6x speed.
Super
It was
slow.
painful.
And he lays it all out. He says, "Listen, I am the son of Kalabar." He named me Cal.
Yep.
He was super creative. I took your spell book, and you may be wondering, what is my plan? My plan is to take on some good old-fashioned revenge on both Halloweentown and the mortal world. And Gray spell is just step 1. Mm-hmm. It's all going down
There's
at
a
midnight.
whole master plan.
So I got a whole thing here.
Yeah,
It's going to be
'cause
pretty
he
nuts.
hates normies.
Yeah.
He hates normies.
Hates
it's like
the normies.
Magneto in X-Men.
Yes. And so they
Doing my
now
best here.
know.
Spider-Man references, X-Men references, trying to normalize this.
You're doing
It's
great.
like, yeah, I'm
You're doing great.
I'm trying.
Normalize this.
So,
This has already been normalized.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
so Grandma and Marnie are now in a frantic search for the backup spellbook. As you know,
There's always
Grandma had 2 complete
yes,
copies.
one in Mortal World, one in Halloweentown.
Yeah.
Luckily,
You
that's
never
great
go
news.
anywhere with both your spell. You always have a backup spell
Right.
in a safe.
For
Such
situations
a
like
time as this.
Yeah.
this.
Yes, but it's nowhere to be found. They don't know where they are, or where it
It's
is.
lost.
It's lost.
Oh, boy.
It's the lost spellbook. So the only thing that they can think to do is go to Gort's house.
Yeah, well, Gort, you got to go to Gort. You got to see Gort.
And what's
board it
Gort's deal, Dano?
Gort is a pack rat.
He's a pack rat.
He keeps everything that he gets. He wants to amass what he believes are treasures, but he's kind of like grumpy and cranky about it. That's
Right.
Gort's whole deal.
Yeah,
So
his
if-
house is like a portal. So, when you lose a sock or a puzzle piece or those little things that
Yeah.
you just misplace, they show up at Gort's
So
house.
they call
we
him Gort
can't-
the Hoarder. That's what they call him.
And once they're at Gort's, they're his.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
If we can't find the spell book, it must have ended up at
must
Gort's
be
house.
lost. So, yeah.
So when they show up at Gort's, unfortunately, Gort is not helpful because he's also now been affected by the gray spell. He is,
Everything
boring.
is so clean.
He had a
and
yard
tidy.
sale.
He's pairing socks.
He's in the process.
He's
Listen, you got to sort
selling
those
books.
socks.
Yeah, he's keeping how to dust for pleasure and profit, but he did sell the spellbook.
Yes.
That's right.
Now, they are trying to figure out what to do now. And as they're trying to figure this out, Grandma begins to lose her color. And she's an important part. And so she, at the time, Marnie's like, what about time travel? And Grandma, right as she's basically
About to
turning
go gray.
gray,
That's right.
writes down the spell and is like, hey, you can use this spell.
So they're going to
Just
go
in
back
time.
in time to pre-yard sale
That's right.
and get the book.
Could
yeah.
they go back in time
And stop Cal.
and stop Cal? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, they could. Would that movie be shorter and more interesting? Maybe. We don't know because we didn't get that.
We don't know. We don't know
just
for
go
sure.
back to Gort.
Well, I think to stop Cal, they would have had to like
do what?
Well, they didn't.
All you gotta do is
they,
go back before she lets him in the witch room.
No, well, that wouldn't have stopped him because he had already cast the spell.
No,
he
gets
took
the
no. If you watched the movie,
Okay, all right.
He had the book from Halloweentown. He goes to the mortal world to get that book, so they can't stop him.
Okay,
the spell is already in place.
So go back in time before he gets the book from Gort.
Yes,
that's all they got to do.
Yeah,
they didn't do that.
They just don't know when that is.
Yeah, but they can try. They go all the way back to the cave.
Well, they haven't figured out yet that Cal has both books, so they're just trying to go back to pre-yard sale. They do that. And then Cal's like, ha ha ha, joke's on you. I had it the whole time.
They are really slow though. Like
it's not efficient.
And
you could
like,
go back to a time and do this real easy.
There are so many times when Marnie says something and is like explaining the plot, and we're just like, we've been here for hours.
Yeah.
We have gotten this figured pretty darn figured out.
Her figuring out that Cal was Kalabar's son and he's the bad guy.
Well, hold on a second.
Took her forever.
Yeah.
He explains his evil plan, and she's like, wait a minute.
And it just so happens the next bad guy's also named Cal. Get out of here. Get out of here. Kimmy J, be better.
She was reading the subtitles, and the subtitles spelled Cal with a C.
Yeah,
and so
but they're
totally different.
Calabar with a K and Cal with a C, different people.
The only problem is the captions also spelled Kalabar with a C, but that's neither here nor there. We know the truth.
Well, they didn't say, they say like Calabar.
Yeah, we know the truth.
Yeah. So she was confused.
So they do figure out the time travel thing after, going back not far enough, then too far, then just right. It's
they ruined a caveman's day.
He had a tough day.
A lot to talk about for their next couple weeks of living.
So you guys listen to his podcast
We
about
did,
the incident?
we did,
Dude, it was nuts.
Yeah, that caveman podcast is crazy.
Yeah.
Caveman talks about his day. Caveman talks about his day.
Sponsored by State Farm, if you can believe it. It's crazy. I don't know how that happened, but they got him.
It's so easy a caveman. Wait, that's Geico.
I know. That was the whole, just shut up. Just stop. What happens next? You go.
It's layered. I'm like Kimberly J Brown figuring out stuff. Well, hold on a second.
Wait a daggone minute.
He gave me a rose. Calabar gave my mom a rose.
This is
You're
crazy.
related.
So they find out that
Maybe you shouldn't bring men you just met into your secret witch room.
100% you should.
Yeah,
wait
get
until
to know 'em
marriage.
first.
Wait until marriage.
Especially when they're wearing a long leather coat.
at the very least.
Looks weird.
So they discover by going back in time that Gort at one point in time sold the spell book to Kalabar many, many moons ago. And so now they they're trying now to figure out, okay, how do we get the gray scale? How do we stop the gray spell? If we can stop the gray spell, maybe we can, at least save this world and then go in there and deal with it there. And luckily, she's able to figure it out basically.
Hopefully it's like a one-word spell.
Yeah.
Well, what had
happened was there was one guy who I always forget what his name is.
Luke. He's in the first movie.
Who was grayscale, and then he was around, and she said something.
They were at the Cromwell house looking for the spell book.
Yes, and he shows back up, and he is now in color, and no one knows why.
They're like, oh, maybe the spell's wearing off. Like maybe it's not permanent.
But what they do is they say, hey, do you remember like what you said before I showed up in color? And luckily for her, amazing memory.
So she's kind of remembering some words, and he is writing them down, and they're trying to figure out possibly whatever she said.
Right. So something that she said was something trap a blah blah blah
a spell,
and in doing that she said trappa
by accident.
And trappa
the best of us.
is the spell because it's a part backward. I don't know, but anyway, they just have to say trappa to stuff, and then it goes back to being
turns on the gray spell. Trappa.
If someone says a part, everybody turns gray. That's a tough place to be. I don't want to live in that world.
Yeah. So, yep, we figured it out.
Yes.
Movie's
the
over.
case.
They didn't though, because they have figured that out.
That is still
but
fraud.
they figured it out back in time. So now they have to go back to the future.
Oh, that sounds like a good movie.
And that shouldn't be a problem, except it is a problem because they put the paper down in Gort's house, and you wouldn't think that that's going to be a problem. But apparently, if you do that, then it's lost. And if something is lost, and it's poof point. If it's lost in his house, then it goes poof point.
Yes.
So whatever's lost outside of his house goes to him,
and then there, poof point. So now we're stuck back.
So now they get to, but they do get to ride on an actual timeline.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
It is my favorite part of this movie.
Yeah.
They're just galloping on a broomstick with handles.
How did they? So
waves.
They open up the door.
That tell you what year it is.
Did she stumble into? I don't remember how it just how it showed up.
I think he had. It's like a door in his house.
Oh, he had that all along. Thanks, Gort.
I don't know. I don't remember that exact.
Who lost that? Who lost it? I lost my wormhole. Does anyone know?
But it's going to take forever to travel through that timeline. So luckily we have our broom.
That's right. So they're going to broom through it.
There is an extensive countdown at the party.
That's right.
Yeah,
so
we have to make it back before midnight.
Right. So at the party, we see the kids are there, the other two.
Dylan and Sophie are trying to warn Mom that there is a foul plan afoot.
And Cal's
and Mom's like,
frog dad.
Mom still believes Frog Daddy over her own kids.
Yes.
Yeah, she's like, there would not be any magic on Halloween. How dare you?
Yeah.
Magic's not real.
I know we went to another place in another universe called Halloweentown where everyone is a Halloween character, and that is true, and I am part witch. But you've gone a step too far, young lady, with you thinking that there's some evil magic happening.
So the only way
on my first date in 20 years.
That's right.
How dare you?
The only way to prove that Mom's on a date with a frog is for them to do a spell that causes a fly to be there, because no frog can withstand the power of a fly, and that does happen. His tongue goes long. And there's nothing we can do about that.
He eats the fly.
He eats the fly, and then bada bing, bada boom. We know now, turn back into frog. He turns into a lot of frogs.
Turns into a whole bushel basket
really great.
of them.
But at this point, Cal is already in the rafters.
Yeah.
He's in the rafters.
He's up there like Sting at Starcade.
That's exactly right. Sting is going to come down. He's going to, with his baseball bat.
I think we've been hanging out too long together.
And it's going to be awesome.
At the same time.
He's up in the rafters.
That's a 30-year-old reference.
Yeah, but the people out there that get it, they know what we're talking about.
Leave us a review, for the love of God. I know it's hard. I know you're in your 40s and it's hard, but find a way.
Please figure that out. So Marnie now is back to the future. She trappas Aggie, and now they're trying to figure out, well, the portal is beginning to close. What are we going to do?
That's right.
And just as the
door closes,
the door is starting to close. There's been a countdown going on for an hour now.
Yeah. Started at 60,
but they're down. Final seconds.
They did the final countdown starting at 60, and in the most magical part of this movie, the crowd does stay in sync for 60 seconds.
They do. It's a full 60-second countdown to midnight. To November 1st.
You know how all those high school parties at the school
60,
lasted until midnight?
59, 58. And so the door ends up closed, like, despite Marnie trying to open it up with her hands. Again, do any spell.
Don't worry, they've hacked it.
So that's happening. So it closes, and you're like, okay, that's over. And now Cal turns like Mom into an actual monster. Like whatever mask you're wearing, you become that person. So chaos is happening, and what are we gonna do? This is over. It's over. The portal has been closed. No.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Yes,
but
no.
Yes.
At first, Aggie's like, well, we tried our best. Now you can spend the next mortal year here training, and next Halloween,
not a big deal.
Nothing will have happened in the mortal world for sure, and we'll be ready to fight Cal.
But everyone knows a year at Halloweentown is 1,000 elsewhere, and
a year in the mortal world is 100 years in Halloweentown.
So 100 years, and then you carry the two.
Marnie will feel like she is living 100 years without her family.
You get a free 100 years, though.
And I also feel like the two of them training for a year to go back and fight Cal a year later, he's going to move on. Like, it's going to be a bigger problem.
Yes.
But Aggie's like, well, nothing we can do. Let's go
practice.
practice.
Pagging it on.
And Marnie's like, no, I refuse.
Marnie figures it out because everyone knows that the Halloweentown portal that's open on Halloween was created via a spell.
Yes.
So if you can do it once, you can do it again.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
And so she does just that.
She calls Sophie on the headphone.
Hello. And they're able to get back in there. She comes face to face with Cal. Cal holds both of the spell books and is like, "Looky here, come and get them." He turns into like a tree thing. Yeah. And she, dark magic. So he's dark magic. She turns on her lights. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. She goes in there and she just takes them.
And then he
just disappears.
Poof point.
Poof point. Lots of poof point.
Yeah, a lot of poof points.
I can't undersell how how short and bad this fight was.
Yeah.
I know we've been watching a lot of Star Wars over here.
Watching a lot,
and you see a lot of dark side Jedi fights, and it's like, yes, this is great, blah blah blah, and you're expecting it to really turn into something. Not super fair
to compare those two. But
I know,
yes,
but I'm just saying that's like you're expecting. I'm anticipating a battle between good and evil, dark magic, light magic to be more of than hey, got him, have a good day. But that's basically what happened. She like struggles for maybe 5 seconds, then takes the books, and he vanishes. And they're going to be good to go forever, I think. I don't think there's another one of these. And no problems. No problems.
They tease a great like sequel where they're like, well, when he comes back, we'll be ready. He's not coming back. But I would watch that movie, Disney, if you're listening to this podcast. Halloweentown 5. I'm in. Kimmy J is in. Her new husband, Daniel, is in.
And if you are listening or if you are watching, we did change the Apple. I know it looks very similar, but we did change
if you're listening or watching, that is not.
And it's not a replica font. It's totally different.
That's right.
Marnie and her family, they won, and they are going to go back to the regularly scheduled Halloween festivities.
Even though it is now November 1st.
Yeah, but, it's, what can you do? Turn on the
and the portal is now open, so you can, come and go as
the portal's now
the portal that she opened is not just a Halloween portal.
You can come and go.
Again, I don't know why, like, if that was an option.
I will say this. For a second movie to break one of the, ancient rules that we are told has been established for forever in the first movie, that's kind of the worst.
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
It'll come back in Halloweentown 3.
It will come back. Okay, great. I love that. Let's do this, everybody. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We will. We'll make our.
No, it's fine.
We'll give our thoughts. We'll make our list.
Code of Merlin. You can't change the Code of Merlin, but Halloweentown Portal's not in the Code of Merlin, and you can change that.
It's all good. It's all good.
I know.
Decom Descendants. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking Decom Descendants.
Oh, what do you got here, bud? Oh, I forgot my witch closet virginity ring. That's a right-hand ring finger stitch.
That's right.
There's
nothing we can do.
Get that. Shout out to Bry, keeping me honest. He's my accountability buddy.
That's right. It's time for Overtime, everybody. It's where we talk about how this movie aged over time. I do have some Letterboxd reviews, if you would like them, from people that also watched it recently.
Please.
Tess
I bet they're big on the Code of Merlin.
Yeah, big. A lot of
Merlin's
mentioned in all of these reviews. Men only flirt with you to get to your grandma's spell book. Stay alert, kids.
Said it for years.
True.
Max says 3 stars. Whoever edited this just said, F it. Let's have some fun and use every funky effect that we can find. And you know what? I respect that. Jeremy said 1 star. If you have a time machine, why does it matter that the portal closes in 15 minutes? It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fair. So fair.
That's interesting. Sav says 3 stars. CGI peaked during the scene where Marnie and Grandma Aggie speak to Cal's concrete block face.
Oh my God.
Bree says 1.5 star. This is what happens when you trust and defend a man. Logan Van Winkle said 3 stars.
That's my favorite review ever.
And this review was left in April of 2020. And they say, with each passing day of quarantine, I feel more and more like Gort, mindlessly trying to fold socks without matches.
Wow.
Womp
womp. Abby,
can you leave an updated review?
Yeah, please.
Are you
Tell us that
okay?
you're
You okay, Logan
Yeah.
Van Winkle? Abby says 5 stars, and they say, I think it speaks volumes of the Halloweentown movies that this is the worst of the 3, but it's still a 5-star film.
When did they leave that review?
This is the
18.
worst of the 3.
I guess they don't consider 4 a fourth a part
That's
of
fair.
it.
I also don't.
Yeah.
So do you think 3 is better than 2? Like as it stands before you rewatch
in your memory?
I would rather watch Halloweentown 3 more than
Okay,
Halloweentown
all right,
2.
here we
Okay,
go.
great.
And Shauna says the
And
scary.
I would like to never watch Halloweentown 4.
Great. Good to
And
know.
Shauna says 3 stars. The scary part of this movie
sick
is
of it.
realizing that I grew up to be more like Gort than I did Marnie. Moody, bored, lonely, and can only find one sock. It's very sad. A lot of people are gravitating towards the
shout out
character of
Gort.
Gort. Let's share our thoughts on how this movie aged over time. Aaron,
Yeah.
what do you think? Halloweentown, The Deuce. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it held up to what I remember from this movie. It is not my favorite of the 3 true trilogies movies.
Three true trilogy
yeah,
movies, yes.
Sarah Paxton, you're great, but stay out of Halloweentown.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the best part of this movie is knowing that Cal and Marnie got married in real life. And outside of that,
Did they really?
So this
I've not
movie-
heard that
I know
yet.
you
This
heard that
movie
yet.
very recently just turned a corner for
just
you.
turned a corner for me. I remember as a child thinking that the reverse to the gray spell was just Trappa and being like, we couldn't think of anything else. And I was kind of cringing internally when we approached that point watching this movie together because I was like, this is where Dan leaves.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
around that time you did leave
Yes.
for a moment. So
Yes.
it's rough. I feel like you had a really good first movie. You established Halloweentown. You established that Marnie is a witch and she's going...
She's a witch girl.
Yeah, and she's, her mom is given the blessing for her to get some training. And then we kind of backpedal on all of that. It's almost like we're starting from the beginning again.
Started out this.
I don't know. It's not as good as the first one. It's not as bad as some decom movies we've watched. It's a better sequel than some sequels we've watched.
Yeah.
But I feel like they could have done better. It didn't hold up to the original.
Listen. This movie,
This
movie is a mess and has a lot of problems. Namely, like you shouldn't be able to stumble into a spell reversal. Like that. Like it should be harder.
That's right.
Like you shouldn't just be able to say a sentence and stumble into. Oh my gosh! Look at that! How
Like,
about
what
that?
if you're just having a conversation with someone and all of a sudden,
I had to trap a rat in my house
like,
the other
because
day.
part of the spell work is the emotion behind it.
That's right.
And they throw that out.
It's one of the worst.
They
aside
throw
from
it
the
out.
time travel
Because
debacle,
like when
one of
she
the
is
worst
trying
things
to do
about
a spell
this.
early in the movie, Grandma is like, you need to say it with more feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, make a big deal of that.
Trappa
Why
doesn't
have that
matter though.
scene?
It doesn't matter. So
yeah.
like there's stuff like that are just really, really bad and tough. But this movie has something that a lot of other DComs don't have.
Kimmy J.
And it's Kimmy J. Kimberly J Brown shows up, she does her thing, and she crushes it time and time again. And so while this movie might have more plot holes than a lot of other DComs, which is really saying something, it has Kimberly J. Brown, and Kimberly J. Brown rights a lot of wrongs. It still keeps you engaged in the movie, and she still finds a way to draw emotion out of a ridiculous script with a ridiculous plot, and so it ends up being better than it should be and higher on my list than I anticipated.
Yeah, when the portal closes and she is faced with spending 100 years in Halloweentown, her acting in that scene,
Oh, it's unbelievable.
like...
It's
Better
great.
than the movie deserved.
That's right. Dan, what did you think?
This movie's 81 minutes and could have been an email. It does not.
It could have been a 30-minute
It
Halloween
easily
special.
could have been a special. It is padded to the gills with stuff that doesn't matter and crazy plot points. The spell thing is ridiculous. The time travel element and how it's used is ridiculous. The 60-second countdown lasting 15 minutes. Like, there's so much in this movie that just didn't even need to be. Like, it's not a movie. It is a nothing burger of a film. Not only did this movie not, like, I hated it, it also hurt the ranking of the original Halloweentown for me. Because I realized, like, the twist in Halloweentown's really good. I didn't see the twist coming in Halloweentown, which is the only time we've had that happen in all of the DComs we've watched. But the movie doesn't sit as nearly as, like, quintessential viewing now that I've seen this one, and they've muddied the waters with just a terrible movie that you think, I mean, not Kimberly J Brown, who is wonderful. Debbie Reynolds. Okay, like we have legend Debbie Reynolds and best DCOM actor Kimberly J Brown in a movie that is servicing them not at all. And so this movie stays out of the bottom of my list because of those two actors. But make no mistake, most DCOMs we watch are more entertaining than this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's make our list. Let's check
Here we
it
go.
twice.
Is that what
Let's
this
share
said right in
everybody.
this? Really? Okay.
Let's share where this movie is going to land on our list and if it is going to break the top 10 or not. And then we'll share our top 10 as it stands today. Aaron.
Yeah. So based on all of that review and everything, you might think that this is premiering pretty low on my list.
Yeah.
It's not premiering in my top 10, but it is premiering at 11.
Holy cow. Are you kidding me?
Nope. I was going
11 with an E?
because I would rather watch this movie
Oh
than
my
almost
gosh.
any other we watched.
What's 12 and 13? Can you tell me?
The Other Me and Jet Jackson.
Sorry, Jet Jackson. Yeah. 11.
Wow. Didn't break your top 10.
No.
I got to be honest. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't see 11 coming.
I
It's
would
your
rather
least
watch.
favorite Halloweentown movie. That means right now Halloweentown 3 would be in your top 10.
No, it might be 11. You don't know.
Oh, it's that close.
I don't know.
It's
I
that
don't
close.
know. I don't know.
She doesn't know.
You're saying it has to be my top 10, but it doesn't. It could just replace this
She can do
one.
what she
you
wants.
don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
Live
Okay.
in the moment. Pura Vida.
11.
Yeah. Have you even heard of Pure Vida?
I'm not even.
Can
heard
you
of
give
it.
us then your 11 through 1?
Yeah.
That classic countdown.
Countdown.
60.
60. 11. Halloweentown 2. 10. Brink. 9. Quince. 8. Phantom of the Megaplex. 7. Xenon. 6. Halloweentown, the original. Luck of the Irish. 4. Smart House.
You went from 6 to 4.
Okay. 5. Luck of the Irish.
There we go.
4. Smart House. Sorry that you needed me to say the number. You couldn't just keep track in your
You
head.
could have gotten it wrong.
3.
You would have
Miracle
gotten to
in
1.
Lane
You would have
2.
been like 1. Johnny Tsunami. Motocross is extra.
No, I said 6.
said-
Halloweentown. Then I said Luck of the Irish. 4. Smart House. And then you were like, you just didn't say 5.
No, that's not what happened.
It is what happened.
Take it to the tape.
I will take it to the tape.
Do it. Take it to the tape. You
3.
said 4 Luck of the Irish.
I did not. I said 4.
All right.
Smart House.
Okay.
This could have been an email.
Could have been an email.
3. Miracle in Lane 2. 2. Johnny Tsunami. 1. Motocross.
I have this movie coming in at number 18. Broke my top 20. How about that?
Hey.
18.
What's 19?
19 is Up and Away.
What's 17?
Ultimate Christmas Present.
Yeah.
I got nothing's changed. 10 Halloweentown, 9 Miracle on Lane 2, 8 Jet Jackson, 7 Phantom of the Megaplex, 6 Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, and I'm excited because I'm going to rewatch both of those movies next month. 5 Luck
You
of the
don't sound
Irish,
excited.
4 Smart House, 3 Motocross, 2 Johnny Tsunami, and 1 the greatest movie of all time.
Motocross.
Brink.
Still Brink?
Dano?
Halloweentown 2 premieres at 19 for me.
Hey, look at us.
One ahead or one behind Ultimate Christmas Present. So
Hey,
right,
okay.
right
All
there. And then one ahead of Jumping Ship is where I have it. My
Okay.
top 10, little shuffle here.
Okay.
10 Luck of the Irish, 9 Smart House, 8 Brink, 7 Quince, dropping to 6 Miracle in Lane 2.
Oh, boy.
The film that keeps on filming. Number 5, Phantom of the Megaplex.
Wow.
Now in my top 5.
It's going to be your number 1 by the end of the year.
Dropping from 3 to 4,
Oh my God.
still ahead of where you guys have it. Halloweentown, the original.
Oh, wow.
I have it at 4, the original one.
How about that?
3, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. 2, Johnny Tsunami. And 1, the best DCOM by a mile, Motocross.
I think there's a world where come Halloween, Phantom
is number one.
and
Megaplex is
Halloweentown
not
might.
going any higher.
You don't think it could get
Never
higher?
say never.
I think it can maybe get to 4 because
Let's-
Halloweentown's starting to sink.
Well, yeah,
It's
let's
no way
see
it's
what-
cracking those top 3.
Let's see what Halloweentown, the Trace,
the Trace.
has to say.
So the highest it could get is 4. That's if we see no other movies that I like in the meantime.
Next week, it is the holiday season. We're
Holiday
watching
season.
'Twas the Night, a Bryan Cranston vehicle.
Whoa.
Dano.
What?
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited. You guys
Well,
aren't
this is
excited?
back in his Malcolm days,
Yes,
right?
back in
Yeah.
his Malcolm days, 2001. So
Pre-meth.
So it's Christmas next week. We're very much looking forward to that. Please leave a review. Please share the show with your friends. Let them know where you at. Are you listening to Decom Descendants, folks? They're fun. Come on. We'll be back next week. Well, it might. Where you at? Where you at? Let's make stickers.
They were on the fence because no one's asked them where are they at.
Let's make stickers, and if you leave a review, you'll get a sticker that you can give to a friend that just says where you at.
Don't promise that.
These are all good ideas, though.
They are, but we're not promising that.
Where you at?
Not promise to sticker.
We'll be back next week with another one. Until then, keep decoming the Descendants.
Where you at? Decom Descendants is a Bramble Jam podcast produced by Brandon Gray. It's recorded live in that Greenville, the Bramble Jam Podcast Network studios. To find us on the socials, go to @Decom Descendants on the web, decompodcast.com. To watch these movies live, you can go to BrambleJamPlus.com.
Where you at?